NCSoft promises a fair monetization and no pay to win for Throne and Liberty. Hey guys, I've got a really good video for you today. We're going to be taking a look at Throne and Liberty. I'm going to be reacting to a video that the Lazy Peon made. I was just going to look over the trailer and react to that, but he's gone over it and gone in depth, and then I've put my thoughts and things on top of that. Really can't wait for this game. It's an MMO coming out early next year, as it is at the moment, and I'm really excited for it. So let's get into it.
I know you guys all love Korean MMOs. I mean,
Lazy
why wouldn't
Peon.
you? They have the best combat, the most beautiful graphics, the biggest watermelons, cleanest user interfaces, and pay to win in these games literally doesn't exist. I wish all of that was true, but unfortunately it isn't. Who cares though, because no matter how many times we get burned by these games, many of us are so fucking addicted to that new MMO feeling, we'll knowingly walk through the microtransaction valley of death to get it. In this video, we'll be taking a look at a new upcoming MMORPG that's been over 12 years in the making, inspired by one of the most successful MMO IPs, which should be releasing Q4 2022 or early 2023. So what big budget Korean blockbuster is coming for our wallet next? Throne and Liberty.
MMO feeling?
It's basically
no idea what you mean, dude. I get well excited. Do you know what? A game that I've not particularly been excited for, I looked into it a while back, was Ashes of Creation. Ashes of Creation caught my eye a while back. And the idea that the players, when they like stay in an area, like a node, and they fight things and they do stuff in that area, then that node evolves and becomes like, you get like a little village pop up. And then, you know, by killing enough monsters and doing enough mining and doing enough things in this certain area, then all of a sudden that village turns into a town, and that town turns into a city and like a metropolis, and it goes up and up and up. So the players decide where they want to be and make the big hubs and things. And then you've got like individual players run for like mayor and run the towns, and depending on how like built up an area is, there might be like a new boss that spawns around there, like a dragon. So every area can be different. Every server can be different depending on just where players go. G4, I'm here. I'm here late, boys. This is Lineage 3. This is essentially Lineage 3. Yeah, this is Throne and Liberty. We're just about to start watching this video. This is from Lazy Peon. If you don't know the Lazy Peon, move my head right this way. There you go. Lazy Peon, he's great. He always does loads like first impressions and things. He always makes really high quality videos. So, yeah, we're gonna take a look at this. But how are you, G4? Good to see you. Been waiting for this game for 10 years, have you? 10 years, bro. 10 years. Okay, well, we'll have a look at the trailer and what he's going to say. All good, mate? I hope the family as well. All good. All good, thank you. What's in for years? Got to get all the MMO news. Yeah, he's really good for that. He just jumps from like MMO to MMO, and makes really good videos, first impressions and things. But you're not sold at Ashes of Creation, not at least yet. Yeah, I kind of want to check out a bit more.
Basically Lineage 3, but at the last minute they decided to not set the game in the Lineage universe and instead create a new IP. This game is the next big PC MMO from NCSoft and shares the same universe as another game in development called Project E. Throne and Liberty takes place on the other side of the globe, whilst Project E takes place on the other. We don't know much about Project E, so in this video we're focusing purely on Throne and Liberty.
Look at that! That looks cool as fuck! Like, he's got, like, his arm clearly, like, comes down here, but there's a hand there. Unless that is his arm, but he's got this attached to... Oh, I don't know, it looks cool.
Now, this is a game that's been in development for well over a decade. And you may have actually seen trailers for it years ago, as this is an MMO that's gone through development hell. Initially, it was called Lineage Eternal and was teased all the way back in 2000.
Yeah, because I was looking forward to this. Lineage Eternal, I heard loads about it. I watched loads of stuff. Yeah, geez, this is 2011. I watched loads of stuff for this. And then there was like, I remember you could like drag your mouse for different attacks. Like if you wanted to attack in like a big forward line, you'd like click and hold forward and let go. And that's how you would attack in that line. Or you could cleave by like swiping with it. Man, I remember this now. Yeah, it's supposed to arrive at
By
LA.
2016, the game was fairly close to completion and even had a closed beta test. For whatever reason though, I'm assuming the game just wasn't fun, NCSoft went back to the drawing board, renaming it to Project TL and releasing a new trailer for the game back in late 2017. I'm sure you've all seen this trailer, and at the time the game seemed as if it would be isometric. Since then, we heard nothing about Project TL, and it seemed unlikely to be something that would ever release, until March 2022 when out of the blue, NCSoft released an official trailer for the game. No longer Project TL, but official name Throne and Liberty. What's most surprising is that
it's literally been 4K. It's crazy, right? For them to change it that much, man. Do you know, they might do it again. Just saying. Just saying. It wasn't meant to come out to rival Mew Online's game. Oh, okay.
the game now seems to be third person rather.
So G4, so you really like Lineage 2. I played Lineage 2 a bit, but I kind of played, I think I'm maybe on like a private server, then played on like another private server, and I didn't have anyone to play it with. I just kind of dabbled in it a little bit, didn't get very far at all, and never really played the game.
Rather than top down.
I kind of wish I
I'll play the
had.
trailer in its entirety, then we'll analyze it further.
Trailer. Map was so big. Graphics a lot better than your WoWs. Okay. I remember making like a Meiji character at the start. Ooh. Getting dragged in. Interesting. I like the purple glow. Hello. He got to suck. Look at that tree. I like that tree. Oh, wow, that looks very arcade. Holy shit. This just reminds me, yeah, bro, this just looks very, I played a lot of arcade, man. And I remember, I can't remember what the town was called, but this looks just like arcade. Oh, grappling, yes. Here we go. Punching through. Split up. That looks pretty nice. Oh shit, you become an eagle? Or like a cat? Combat does look decent. Yeah, you're right. Shit, look at that teleport. Jesus. I like the grappling hooks. That looked like siege. He's got has he got doors? He's got a fucking like big, look, he's huge. What? Whoa, 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 whoa. What just happened? Everybody got lifted up? What happens to all the players? Wait for it. Look at all the players up in the air. And then they all transform into eagles. GVG, RVR. Yeah, something like that. That big undead guy just lifted up everyone. They all turned into eagles. It's like a sandworm. Golem. Comes out of the gun. Wow. Look at him carry them. Shit, it jumped. Jesus. Is this like sieges? Wait, are you the golem? I'm not sure. I wouldn't have thought so. I wouldn't have thought you get to be the golem. I don't know. Ah! That actually looked really good. The combat in that actually looked pretty nice. I'm assuming he's going to go back. Yeah, he's going to go over it through now, so we get some of Lazy Peon's first impressions. But that actually looked really good. That was a player point of view. They transformed into it. Oh, really? Shit, the better. Okay. Hope they take a lot of lessons from the bad and the good of the new world. I hope so. Fingers crossed, G4. Absolutely.
Wow. That's the type of MMO trailer I like to see.
Yep.
Tons of in-game footage, gameplay, and features shown off in a short space of time.
This looked cool. Look, the graphics actually look quite nice. Even the details on the rock here looks quite nice.
Not just a CGI cutscene where we have no idea what kind of game this will be. So
he's exactly right, because this is what I was trying to find from the other games a minute ago, and I was looking into it, and I was like, I couldn't find any like actual gameplay. So actually having like fighting and stuff in the trailer is what we need. It's what we need when we're looking into MMOs, because having like CGI, you're like, yeah, cool, like you've made some cool CGI trailer, yeah, whatever, like it looks nice, but if I don't know what the game's actually going to be like when I play it realistically, because a cutscene isn't how you actually play it, right? So yeah, it needs to have something, and it did. I'm a fucker for Siege stuff. Love Guild Wars 2, World vs. World. Okay. Want to see gameplay again.
Let's break it down. The trailer starts with a big open landscape.
The thing here, right? You've got like this up on the hill, this like cathedral or whatever. But you might be able to just be down here running around in the open world, and then just like grappling hook all the way up, instead of having to be like, okay, gonna have to go all the way up, maybe circle all the way around to get up to the top. I would love it if you're over here and then you just go up and up and up. However, we saw the fact that you can be an eagle, so maybe you could just fucking fly up there.
Shot of a bird flying through a fairly standard looking fantasy city. This city or town reminded me a lot of Hydaelyn and Calpheon from Black Desert Online. Similar building design, similar color palette, instant BDO vibes. Character running through a desert, more BDO vibes. And this scene shows us that the game will have an active day-night cycle. Nighttime panning shot over a field of goblins, perhaps this is an open world grinding spot. Next, our first look at an in-game cutscene. A character is sucked into a sacred tree where he's plunged into the abyss and seemingly gains some kind of magical power.
Yeah.
He's attacked by a budget version of the Lich King.
I thought that! As soon as that happened, I was like,
the camera
dude,
pans out to third person in what appears to be a transition
it's
from...
not wrong. It is, right? I love it. I love the way he calls it a budget version. I was looking at it, I was like, oh, dude, that does look like the Frost guy. And I was like, what is it? Is the Lich King? I was like, oh, it's like the Frost guy from WoW.
Scene to gameplay. Next, we see a level 2 female character kicking open...
Oh, she is level 2, actually.
From cutscene to gameplay. Next, we see a...
Here you go. Here. It's behind my thumb. Level 2.
Level 2 female character kicking open a treasure chest, and our first look at the in-game UI. Holy shit, this actually looks incredibly clean and minimalist for a Korean MMO. Character opens the door and the camera focuses on the tree, which seems to be the same one he got sucked into in the previous cutscene. Now we're level 34, the character...
Shit, 34. And we're running through Arcade Town.
Rolls on the floor when jumping from great heights. You can also vault over
That's
walls.
fluid. Yeah, actually, the fact that he does. I mean, the vaulting, when I saw that, I was like, that's cool, because instead of just jumping over it, you actually vault over it. It's nice. But this is something I didn't notice straight away, is when he lands, he rolls.
Great heights. You can also vault over walls
makes
and
it
obstacles in this game. User interface still looks incredibly minimal, this time with 3 abilities unlocked. There's also boats in this scene, so perhaps this game will also have...
I really hope it has
sailing. Level 45, and now we're grapple hooking around the environment. You can clearly see here that around...
Look how clean the UI is. Right, behind me is basically nothing. There's just this mana bar. You got your health and your level, and then there's a tiny bit down here. It's got the bow, and it's got something that's off. But that's it. There's like nothing else. It's super clean, really nice.
Indicate places you can
very clean UI.
We also have an ESO style compass.
I thought
on the top of the UI rather than a mini map. Everything we've seen so.
Although to be fair, I do really like mini maps, or at least maps that you can kind of like toggle on and off with like tab or something. Toggle it on, toggle it again so it's like opaque, so you can kind of see through it, and then toggle it off. They're always really nice. Or maybe you can just press M and get a map up. Having a compass is nice, but yeah, no, it does. It looks really clean to the point where I actually thought maybe some of the UI was hidden. Maybe it is because how do you know what skills were anything? Normally, like down here or something, you'd have like 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever buttons you've got for like your skills. Or maybe it's the kind of UI that auto hides, so that when you're using skills, it pops up. When you go into combat, it pops up, so you can see what skills you want to press, and then it auto hides when you're running around and exploring for a more immersive
So far
feel.
is making the game seem fully open world. The next scene shows what appears to be a point of interest or collectible system in the world. She runs to the gravestone, presses F, and an artifact appears. She goes into some kind of flashback 2D cutscene with an interesting art style.
Maybe it is the one under the bow sign,
and then
yeah.
we're shown the UI of what appears to be an artifacts examination UI. I translated the text here, and you can rotate, move, operate, or remove obstructions from items in this menu. Next, some kind of Witcher vision that
Yeah, I was like, interesting vision. See, now, if I move, hold on, if I just take off the subs and things stuff for a second, boom, boom. So under here, now you can see 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you do have 4 skills, and you've got whatever this offer is. So now he's in combat. It's showing more.
highlights attackable enemies in a certain area. In this instance, it's useful because some enemies are disguised as plants. Our hero is able to pull enemies with his grapple hook. We're also level 66 in this clip and have 4 abilities in the bottom right. This next clip really indicates to me that the game is fully open world. We're grinding mobs in a beautiful large open plains area. We can see mountains and large structures in the background. Cool. We can see how loot and XP pops up upon kill, and our character has 1,259 healing pots on him, which suggests to me that this game won't have an annoying weight system like Black Desert Online. Level 45 mage doing big damage. The monster throws a rock at her which she avoids. Animations and spell effects look incredible, and we can see another giant castle in the distance. Visually, the game's looking very impressive. Also, it's important to note that we haven't seen any damage numbers so far. Perhaps they've turned this off for the trailer, or perhaps this will be something that's completely hidden. Level 62 warrior class fighting in a temple. Level 60 archer, which
I really hope that you can at least turn damage numbers on, because I like to see how my damage progresses, not just being like, I do more damage now, but actually being able to see. And there's something else that I personally really like in games, and that's not having ridiculous damage numbers. Do you know what I really, really, really like? Is having a game where your starter weapon does something like 1 to 4 damage. And when you go up and start hitting some like chickens or a deer or a wolf or something right at the start of the game, you're actually doing like 2 damage, 5 damage. For instead of straight away running out of town and being like 250, crit 400, like that. And then by the time you're like level 10, you're doing like multiple thousands. And by the time you're level 50, you're doing like 1.5 million, you know, that kind of stuff. I just feel like the numbers are so overinflated. You can't get a scale for how things are growing. If everything starts at like 1 or 2, then by the time you're doing 500 damage, you're like fucking rocking. And then if you do like 1,000, it's that. I prefer small numbers, not a fan of the number blade. It's great. Just take off. They just need to take off all the zeros. I've never understood it, and I've always preferred games where your damage numbers are just really small. And then if you do like 100, you're like, shit, I did like 100 damage to him. Like, wow, that was really, really good. When you start off doing like 2, 4, by the time you get to the point where you're doing like 1,000, you're like fucking crazy. And then rather than, in Lost Ark at the moment, things have scaled up so much in like KR, for example, that sorceresses can do a meteor, and if they get buffed up to the moon, right? I've seen clips of Saint Tone doing like 1 billion damage, and I'm like, what, 1 billion? Like really? Like why do you need numbers that big? I don't know why it scales so much, just so huge. But much prefer it smaller.
You can also switch to a sword. Look at the environment here. The trees, plants, and grass are moving with the wind.
Yeah. That's true. I like the fact that he slowed the trailer down and really going through it. It's really nice.
The lighting from the sun also looks beautiful. Just to go over the last 3 clips again, we can see that the game has a targeting system similar to Dark Souls. The archer was locked onto his enemy whilst moving, as was the mage. You can completely avoid taking damage by dodging your enemy's attacks, so the game seems to have a Dark Souls style action combat.
Yes! Just dodge things. So it's all about like a bit of damage move, bit of damage move. But I'm looking down here again at the mage. The mage has 4 skills. You got 441 potions. You've got your mana, your health. But you've only got like 4 skills. So maybe this is like Guild Wars and think, yeah, don't get hit. That's exactly it. Just dodge. Maybe this is it. You've got like some kind of auto attack and you just get to put on like 4 skills. It'll keep it very, very basic. Very easy to manage.
System, or at
Maybe
the
a
very
little
least
too
that
much.
kind of targeting option. It wouldn't surprise.
Oh, there we go. He's got 5 there. So maybe you can get a few more. Hope there are more than 4 skills. Yeah. Well, this guy's got 5. So there's at least 5 then. But I mean, even if you get to like 6, you know, have it like a big pool of skills that you could choose from and maybe, I don't know, edit or something, but you only get to have a certain amount. My Sorg is only 1400, biggest damage in chaos. 757 billion, hey? Crazy, Cal. How are you doing, Cal? Good to see you.
Surprise me if there's also a free targeting option too.
We're looking
this
at Throne
scene
Liberty.
Is very interesting. A level 58 has turned into a bird. We
I
can
know
see that this
and a
character
cat.
has unlocked
8 skills.
8 different abilities as displayed in the bottom right. You can also see a bird icon towards the bottom left of the screen. The next character has turned into a tiger with a tiger icon in the same UI location. So my thinking here is that either every character can shapeshift into different animals and this game doesn't have a standard MMO mount system, or this is just some kind of special event that's being shown. Either way, super cool.
Interesting. Maybe everybody's a druid. Maybe everybody's forced to be a druid and that's how you get around. So instead of having like gliders and mounts and things that you summon, you just transform.
The next few shots are showing off some world bosses. The first one is a tree boss in a haunted woods area, a flying demon world boss in some kind of temple, a giant spiky armadillo boss in the desert area, big ass rock elemental, giant ogre boss, and a 6-legged spider humanoid boss. In each of these world boss clips we can see between 20 and 40 players attacking these monsters, so it's clearly designed to be a large player encounter, and given that this game is heavily inspired by Lineage, is likely to breed world PvP as it did in Lineage 2. Next we see what appears to be some kind of guild summoning feature by what I'd assume to be a summoning stone. There's a banner next to this stone, so my assumption would be that this is a guild standard. Time for some open world PvP. One guild has the high ground whilst the other is trying to push up from the low ground. Epic shot of 2 groups running into each other.
Nice area. I like the fact this is like a big, flat, open area. You've got a few places you could like hide in around the back. Nice statue. But look, you've got people that, I don't know if these are like different classes, whatever, that can have like summons. But you've got like wolves, you've got some kind of like saber-tooth cat here as well.
If you pay close attention here, some are shapeshifted into wolves and transform to humans at the moment of engage.
There you go.
This once again suggests to me that every class can shapeshift to some extent. We also haven't seen any
those are players.
mounts in this trailer yet either, so my theory on this seems solid so far. These next clips are...
I like this boss. I love the fact that it's like some kind of big like ogre with these 2 great big like doors. He's just fucking carrying doors around. That looks really cool.
You can see what appears to be some kind of siege scenario, and each guild can control different siege monsters to smash through walls and doors. We can see tons of spell effects and buffs going off. Then we're shown another siege monster different to the previous one,
dual-wielding doors.
To be fighting for the opposing side. The 2 giant monsters engage, then boom, another big skeleton world boss. I slowed this footage down and counted between 55 and 60 players on screen fighting this thing. Every player gets knocked up into the air and transforms to bird form. If you look carefully, you can see what appears to be either small pets or creature summons following players around. I'd assume these creatures are pets that loot for you, as is standard for Korean MMOs. Yet another giant world boss, this time a desert worm. Let me guess, it burrows under the ground and you need to run away. So this scene explains a lot. This level 66 player has actually turned into one of these giant sea.
You were right ask. He's turned into it.
Monsters. It's not a summon. You can see on the UI that he now has 300k health, he's got 3 monster-specific abilities, and the Transform UI now shows a siege monster icon. I think that's actually much cooler that these giant titans are actual player transforms. We can see that there's many types of these titans.
Poggers, dude.
Some specialise in being really tall and attack from range. Others can charge, some can hold platforms to put guildmates on walls, some can straight up jump on the walls, whereas others just fully destroy walls. Needless to say, from these final scenes, castle sieges are definitely going to be a massive feature in this game.
Yeah, this looks epic, bro.
Honestly, this was one of the best MMO trailers I've seen in a long time. Just by slowing it down and taking a look at the details, we can make a lot of solid assumptions about the
literally carrying people.
Solid assumptions.
Bro.
Massive open world, action combat system, massive world bosses that require 20 to 50 players to take down, open world guild vs guild PvP, castle sieges where players can transform into different titans rather than using traditional siege equipment like battering rams and siege towers. Graphically, the game looks to be either Unreal Engine 4 or Unreal Engine 5. Beautiful minimalist user interface, which is extremely rare in Korean.
Yeah, really nice. That's a really nice one, actually, the UI. If they have a good warlock class type, okay, you're sold.
The game likely doesn't have normal MMO mounts.
Could be made,
it seems
bro.
Every class can transform into birds, tigers, wolves, and so on. The highest level players shown in the trailer were level 66, which leads me to believe that the hard cap is level 70, or level 60 is the soft cap, but you can go beyond that with grinding like in BDO. Moving throughout the world in this game looks good. You can vault, roll, climb, and grapple by the looks of it.
And you can
There's an active day-night cycle. There's collectibles in the world, such as treasure chests and artifacts. The only playable race shown in the trailer was humans, but the world has other races such as goblins, skeletons, and other traditional high fantasy creatures. Since this game was initially built as Lineage 3, it wouldn't surprise me if elves and orcs are also playable races. The game doesn't have an annoying Black Desert weight system. The game has pets, so they probably loot for you. Weapons or classes I saw during the trailer: greatswords, staffs, one-handed sword and shield, daggers, bow, and dual-wielded swords.
Yeah, it's like
a lot
staffs
of
and
these
stuff.
weapons seems to be mix and matched. I saw mages with daggers, sword and board warriors with bows also on their backs, as well as a mix of heavy and light armor. Not sure what to make of that other than maybe it's a classless game, or every class can use every weapon. I'm not too sure. These next few points are speculation and not confirmed by the trailer. The trailer didn't show any small-scale bosses or traditional 5-player MMO dungeons. The game's also inspired by Lineage, so I think it leans more to being a PvP grinder MMO, and likely won't appeal to World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV players. But maybe I'm wrong. Throughout the trailer, I didn't see anything on the UI that relates to questing, so I'm fairly certain you just grind mobs in this game to progress, as was shown in many of the clips. Throne and Liberty is a Korean PvP MMO, so there's about a 99.9%.
How does that sound to you? No questing. Just go out, grind mobs. There'll be specific spots that'll be like amazing, I guess, for just like leveling, gather up everything. Do some big AoEs, just grind it out and level up that way. So the more hours you can put in of just killing the same things over and over and over, or going out and following questing. Maybe a system like where weapon dictates your weapon skills, class specific. Maybe that's what New World was, right? You like, because I played it a little bit and I thought that game's gonna die really fucking hard, so I never put any effort into it. And then guess what happened? It fucking died, and I was right. G3 COD Lifer, thank you for the follow, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome. Yeah, we're looking into Throne and Library. Throne and Liberty. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, it looks really good. I used to be like mega grinder, absolute mega grinder. All I used to do was there's a game called Legend of Mir 2 and Legend of Mir 3. Those games didn't have quests. You just went into like a dungeon and just killed shit all the time. Fun fact, kids born in September, their parents died. New Year without a bang. New Year without a bang. Oh, man.
chance the game will be pay to win to some extent.
Yeah,
We saw
this
ships
looks
in the
really good
trailer,
though.
but they were static, so the game may or may not have.
There was one
aspect
thing
of
that I
ship
really liked with Arcade was the ships. I'm cautiously optimistic. I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah, I think I could join you there. Cautiously optimistic looks good. That's good. This, it does look good though.
combat in the future. Overall, I expected nothing, but after watching and analysing the trailer, I think this will be the next big PvP and Castle Siege MMO that Black Desert Online, Arcade and X-Lineage players will flock to next.
I reckon.
Personally, I love Guild vs Guild Castle Siege endgame in MMOs, so this game is right up my alley, and will likely be something I play whilst I'm waiting for Ashes of Creation to release. That being said, I know it's going to be pay to win because it's Korean, but hopefully it'll also be free to enjoy. But that's it for this video.
Free
As
to
always, let me
enjoy.
know your thoughts on this new MMO in the comments below, especially if you're an X-Lineage player. What are your hopes for Throne and Liberty? Social media on screen, leave a like and comment for the algorithm gods.
Really giving it a like.
Equipment like battering rams and siege towers. Graphically, the game looks to be either Unreal Engine 4 or Unreal Engine 5. Beautiful minimalist user interface, which is extremely rare in Korean MMOs.
What was that combat? I
The
wanted
game
to
likely
see.
doesn't have far.
See, like here, you've got a couple of enemies just kind of hanging around. A few just hanging around here. A few skills. This would probably be me running around as a mage.
Perhaps they've turned this off for the trailer, or perhaps this will be something that's
wanna
completely
see
hidden. Level
more
games looking
mage
very
stuff.
impressive. Also, it's important to note that we haven't seen any damage numbers so far.
I like the armor on this, and he's just like swinging one way, back swinging the next. Bit crazy, right? Monetization and in-game systems will be the deciding factor for me. Absolutely. I think we could probably assume, just like he said, right, that it's gonna be some kind of like pay to win. It's Korean, so it's gonna be like that. Is what it is, I guess.
Perhaps they've turned this off for the trailer, or perhaps this will be something that's completely hidden. Level 62 warrior class fighting in a temple. Level 60 archer, which can also switch to a sword. Look at the environment here. The trees, plants and grass are moving with the wind. The lighting from the sun also looks beautiful.
Yeah, it looks really
Just to go
nice.
over the last 3 clips again, we can see that the game has a targeting system similar.
I really wish they'd shown a bit more. I really wish they could have gone a little bit more with this. They've used the potion. They've got a few skills. I'd love to see this person like fight that and then like fight this one. That would have been cool. If it's a castle siege type game, there's no way I can deal with pay to win unless it's equalized. That is the big problem. If it's a main PvP style game that's pay to win, that's when it just sucks. That's when people will flock to it at the start. They'll start playing it. They'll be like, this is amazing, this is really cool, and then they quickly realize that the person with the bigger wallet just comes and one-taps them, and then they go, fuck this game. And then it's done. It's dead. It's dead in the water. It's dead in the water, apart from the people with the biggest wallet. And then even with that, they'll fork out, they'll get real strong, they'll have some fun with it, they'll play it for a little while, and then even those will move on. And then they've made like a ton of money, man. It's just the way it goes. I really hope it isn't like that. But it's a good chance it could be.
Similar to Dark Souls. The archer
I don't mind pay to win
in
LA because PvP is equalized. That's it. You need PvP to be equalized in a lot of these things, or you need specific areas where it is and where it isn't, because you need areas where the whales, from a financial point, you need systems where people can fork out. If you do have a pay to win system, right? Pay to win. That you need areas where people can pay a lot of money. Because there are mega whales out there who will pay out loads of money to do certain things, and then they can use it. You can use it somewhere, but not in like a big castle siege, and not in it needs to be equalized. Like Guild Wars, the original Guild Wars did a really good job. I thought the Guild versus Guild, where everything was equalized. I really like that. That was really, really nice. So fingers crossed it's like that, man.
as the mage. You can completely avoid taking damage by dodging your enemy's attacks, so the game seems to have a Dark Souls style action combat system, or at the very least that kind of targeting option. It wouldn't surprise me if there's also a free targeting option too. This scene is very interesting. A level 58 has turned into a bird. We can see that this character has unlocked 8 different abilities as displayed in the bottom right. You can also see a bird icon towards the bottom left of the screen.
Yeah,
the next character has turned into a tiger with a tiger icon in the same UI location. So my thinking here is that either
I want to load up the
can
website. News, Facebook, Reddit, Twitter, FAQs. Oh, big boy article. Big boy article. Let's have a look at some of these. NCSoft promises a fair monetization and no pay to win for Throne and Liberty. Here we go. NCSoft published a financial report the first quarter of 2022, from which, among other things, we can gather interesting details about the expected MMOs Throne and Liberty. First off, the developers reminded the game will be released sometimes for PC, PS, and Xbox consoles worldwide, second half of 2022. I think I saw somewhere else this is actually 2023 now. So, you know, in addition, PC version, as noted, will be available not only for Windows but also for Mac. Fucking games on a Mac, bro. NCSoft on shared information about Throne Limited monetization model. He said that he understands user concern and, as promised, will do his best to avoid the appearance of pay-to-win elements, using this instead of the pay-to-win approach. Avoid the appearance of pay-to-win elements. Or is it going to be like secret pay-to-win? There's like a secret cash shop button, which is the pay-to-win one, which you can only find if you look for it. Like, is that what it's going to be? Fucking hell. Also reveals the plan to release a total of 7 games through 2023, including Throne Liberty, Project E, Project R, other announced titles. Interesting. Okay. Secret pay-to-win society? Yeah, I think so. What kind of game? MMO with isometric view set in a fantasy world, PC consoles, not set in a Linux universe. New world, new characters, contents, rules. What kind of content will I have? Weather, time of day, ability to turn into different creatures, fish, birds, boars to siege golems, quests, exploration and puzzles, battle with different bosses, PvP, interplayer wars, castle sieges. Second half 2022. Unofficially, there is talk of November 2022. Okay. No exact information. Supposed to be developed in Unreal 4. Okay. Localization, platforms. How many players? No information. How many classes? We play as humans, but in the universe there is elves and orcs. Your class depends on your choice. You can choose 2 weapons and upgrade them. You can change your choice at any time. There's no classic Holy Trinity in the game. The players create a class themselves. There you go. Global launch. Yep. Which is great. And there you go. So you choose weapons. It's exactly like you said. You just choose 2 weapons and then you can upgrade them. You are half right. So this makes things interesting, because if I was to go, okay, I want to be a mage, this is where you could be like ranged with maybe like a 2-handed staff, or maybe you could do what you could do in Arcade, which was really good. You could have like a short staff and a shield, and it made you more defensive, and it gave you the chance to just outright block attacks, which is what I did, which I thought was really, really cool. And it was really nice, especially in PvP, because melee people would jump on you and they would start attacking. You had a chance to just outright block some of the biggest attacks, which was really, really interesting. But yeah, so there's no classic Holy Trinity. That I like. So you just kind of go with it, hence the healing potions, I guess. I want to dual wield doors. Fucking me too. I want to be a door dual wielder. Realm versus Realm. What about guild systems? Guild system has been announced, but no details. The presence of RVR unlikely. Project E, Throne and Liberty. Project E is being developed the same universe as Throne and Liberty, but the game will take place on neighboring continent. The game has been in the design stage for about a year and is now moving into active development phases. So the ideas from Friend Library going to Project E. Events will cross over the same universe. There is a theory that Project E will not be an MMORPG, but a game of similar genre, a game service battle royale, but this is a rumor. Considering the active development is beginning, Project E will probably be released in 2 to 3 years, creating Unreal 5. That's interesting. You thought it's going to have Realm versus Realm? Oh, I mean, a lot of this is... It says unlikely. Kill system has been announced, but no details. So, it's we don't know. All of this is going, we don't know. We don't know. No exact date. No exact information. Well, no information. This, There is CBT, closed beta test. It's not known to be closed beta test. Only past initial testings and NDA testing. In February, NCSoft announced that it is revised community policy. Talk more of its plans. Interesting. That was good, actually. That was really nice to see. I like the fact that no pay to win, or the secret pay to win society. Interesting. Okay, so this is all quite new. This is March this year, and they've made a few announcements here. So I thought that looked really good, Lask, and everybody else in chat. Good to see you, by the way. I thought that looked really good, if I'm going to be honest. I could see that being a success.